Hey guys, NV here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create your first artistic photo effect. Now, it won't be very authentic, but it will definitely get your creative mind wondering, okay? So let's go ahead and load up a photo. So I'm going to go to open, and I'm going to select this photo right here. If you do not have a photograph to follow along, then please download the photograph from the photographer himself in the link below, okay? It's in the description. So right off, I want to go ahead and copy this layer by holding Control, tapping the J key on the keyboard, and let's just name this Artistic, okay? And I want to put this in a folder as well. So I'm going to hold Alt and Shift key, click on this little folder here, Artistic. And I'm going to go ahead and right click on this photograph and convert to Smart Object. Before I do anything else, I do want to resize this photo. So I'm going to hold the Control and Alt key and tap the I. And it's fairly decent size, but I want to go ahead and make it smaller. So I'm going to say about 3000. And the res is at 72, so I wouldn't really see this as a print-friendly photograph. You would want 300 and up. If you want a higher res, you could probably contact the photographer and maybe ask them for a higher res. But anyway, so we have our photograph converted to a smart object. Let's double click on that photo. And let's make this a black and white. So I'm going to go down to this fill and adjustment layer icon and click on that and say select gradient map. We could just desaturate the photo. I just don't like desaturating photos very often. There's times I do. And to add your color swatch here under this gradient bar, just click anywhere over on the underneath. And wow, I want black. And let's drag this to about 25. I think that looks decent. And we'll make it a little bit more, add some little bit more of a highlight here. So I'm gonna say about 80. We're gonna tone it down by clicking on the color box right here. And let's make it, I don't want the clouds to blow out like they are. So let's see here. I think that's right. That looks pretty good. And just click OK. You can copy the value right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK and OK. And let's actually double click on gradient map 1 and name it black and white. And let's just double click on that and set Control C and copy that name and hold Alt and Shift key. And again, clicking on the folder, and we're just going to paste it in there by holding Control and tapping the V key on the keyboard. Just saves us from having to type it twice. So there we go. Let's go ahead and click this X up here and say yes. This is going to update our smart object to a black and white, as you can tell. Now let's go ahead and apply some filters to our smart object. We did a little bit of that before, but I really want to do some a little bit better this time. Add a little bit more filters. So I want to go up to filter menu up here, the tool menu, and let's go down to sketch and select chalk and charcoal. I'm going to leave my settings as they are. By the way, you can right click on this preview window and change the zoom size here of the photograph so you can zoom out a little bit better. And you're more than welcome to copy these settings if you wished. Whoops. And use these values. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this little arrow to the right here and expand that. I'm going to double click on this slider to the right of chalk and charcoal. Just double click. And I want to set this blend mode to lighten right here and click OK. All of these effects should tie in once we're done. So now I'm going to go back up to the tool menu up here and click filter one more time. And let's say brush strokes and angled strokes. Again, just to zoom out, right click and select what you want to choose here. Again, more than welcome to copy the values that you see here. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And I'm going to leave it like it is. And filter again. And let's go and add noise to this. And I've got it at 160. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to keep it at 160 and click OK. And we're going to double click on this slider. Now, the more filters you get in here, it's more load time for the to load up the filter properties here, and you'll see what I mean. I'm gonna go ahead and double click on that slider. And you can tell the load time starts changing, has to go through the filters um, below it. So I'm going to set the opacity to 30, click OK. And back to the filter here, go to blur and box blur. It just kind of blurs out the grade, the noise a little bit, creates a real nice look. Click OK. And another filter I'm going to add, it's a little bit of a special way to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and go to filter, blur gallery, and iris blur. Okay. And let's zoom out by holding control and tapping the minus key on your keyboard just a little bit. I'm going to hold the space bar. And I want to take this, click on this circle right here, right in the center, and I want to drag it down a little bit. Okay. And right up here, you see your cursor change right there. I just want to click and drag down a little bit, just a little bit. And I want to zoom out a little bit more. Okay. You can also click on the slider to the right, just so you know. Okay. And the bottom as well for horizontal. And just want to get a good, get a good distant view here. I might actually go up a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is just go up, and I'm going to select just a side right here. See the cursor change, and drag out. Okay. So I might want to go ahead and increase this size of this blur anyway. Go up, and then just come up a little bit more, I think. I'm just trying to get a feel. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not science. So zooming in here. And I want to drag this out a little bit. This is too harsh. I want to make this about 10. I think that looks good. And just want to kind of play around here. We'll keep it about right there. Let's see. Yeah, I might drag these in a little bit, maybe. This adds more of a feather to your blur. It's not as harsh. So if you had it like this, it'd be very harsh. And I don't like to see the blur, the edges of the blur where it stops. It really annoys me. So I want a very fine feather if possible. Not always perfect, but you know. But I like where it is. I might go in a little bit more, I think. I don't know. I'm just eyeballing this, trying to get that feel that I want. Might go ahead and bring this in a little bit more, just a little. And I'll bring this down a little bit. It's just trial and error. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and call that good. I like it where it is. Might bring this up just a tad, just a little. And what I want to do is right up here, I want to create a layer mask for the blur. So it's a blur layer mask, and everything else I'm going to leave like it is. And I'm going to keep everything else again as it is. I don't want anything else to be added here. And I'm going to click OK. And this will obviously add some blur. Now let's zoom in here, and I just want to see if it's very harsh. Nope, I don't really see an edge, and that's what I'm looking for, no edge. Sometimes you can see where the blur really abruptly ends, and it just looks, it's very distasteful. So I try not to do that kind of thing. Okay, so what I want to do is drag this blur. I'm going to click on this right here, click, hold, drag down. I want to stay about under angle stroke for a second. It may take a moment to load this change. I actually like that. So I'm going to hold Control Z just to undo just briefly so I can get a before and after feel to that. Then I'm going to hold Control Shift and tap the Z key, and that puts it back where we had it. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like where this is going. Zoom in a little bit more. Sorry about my zoom in. This is just part of when you're doing photo work and you really want to be all over the photo. At least I am. I am in and out of the photo constantly, zooming in, checking every part of the photograph. So I'm sorry if I'm getting you seasick. It's not my intention. So I'm liking where it is, and I don't know if I want to really add anything else to this. But I do like where I have it. Okay. So I think I like where this is. So let's just experiment here. let's actually go to here and I want to add colored pencil actually. Let's go ahead and add that. Again, you're more than welcome to copy the values you see here in the input fields. I'm going to click OK. And yes, it looks super funky, I will admit. I'm going to zoom in here. And what I want to do is double click this slider right here. Again, let that load. Again, it has sometimes go through these other filters, so you got to be patient. Just depends on your system. It could take a moment or two. And I want to set this to hard light, just like so. Okay. And I want to take this and drag this underneath add noise, I believe. Let's see what that does. Again, letting that load. Depending on your system, it can take a while. Yep, I like that a lot, actually. It looks really cool. Again, it may not be an authentic looking painting, but it looks pretty nice. It's visually nice to look at. So Control 0, I'm just going to zoom out. I like where this is, and I think I'm going to go ahead and stop right here and call it good because that's pretty cool looking. Trying to think of what else we could do. I mean, we could, if we wanted to, we could come in here and add some noise, maybe a little bit more of a, let's try that, going to filter up here. Sharpen, smart sharpen. Let's just see. I don't know if I want to do this, but I just want to see. But I like it where it is. Let's just play around with the radius real quick. That's painful to look at. Was it 1.5? Let's try 2. And let's just one amount. Ouch. So 115 maybe? Nah, I'll keep it at 110. Let's just click OK. Let's see what it does, how it works, how it looks. Not too bad. So I'm going to hit Control Z just to get a before and after, and then Control Shift Z. Yeah, I think I'm going to tone it down if I do use it. So I'm going to go up to this little slider by the smart shape, smart sharpen, sorry. Double click on that slider. Hopefully this won't be too painful. Loading time here. Okay. Oh, good. And I want to see if I can't tone this down just a little bit. I think 45 is just fine. Click OK. I think that looks fine. You don't have to have noise. Again, I had to sharpen. It's a choice. Yeah, I'll go ahead and keep that. It's optional. Obviously, you don't have to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and collapse this or minimize this by checking that arrow, clicking on that arrow. And let's go up to File and save our file. Save on your computer. Let's go to Demonstrations. And I want to name this Artistic Photo. Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks good. And click Save and OK. Let's also save it as an image. Go to File and Save As. And by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, I may have, but you can hide this by just clicking Don't Show This Again, and you don't have to go through this. I, for some reason, keep it that way. I'm not sure why, but whatever. I may one day. And go ahead and click Save and OK. And that's it. I think I'm just going to go ahead and wrap things up here. And until next time, I will see you in another video.